What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm joined here by the blue shirt wearing, goatee sporting, tongue licking
Gershwin.
And welcome back to another episode of For the Greater
WAAAGH. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Marcel Goussard did. Why doesn't GW make a 40K movie? Even if it's bad, fans will still go watch it. Okay, so even if it's bad, fans will still go watch it since it's a 40K movie. So yeah, I really think that GW is ready for that. We were just watching
the Inquisitor Martyr, like the newest trailer.
Yeah. Even the old trailer, the one that showcases the what is it, the Space Hulk?
Yeah.
That one is pretty badass.
Far from the guiding light of the God Emperor, torn apart by the foul tempest that distort reality, the veil shreds open and madness gushes through.
And then this one is orgasmic.
Don't let Slanesh hear you.
So the best part of the entire trailer is definitely how menacing Chaos is. Mm-hmm. Especially something like Nurgle, Plague Marines, right?
The Plague Bears. Well, Plague Marines were in there too.
Yeah.
You got Plague Bears, and then you said that big lumbering thing was a what?
Great Unclean One, which is pretty badass because normally you see like the Great Unclean One would be the size of maybe a 2-story house, but this thing looked enormous, like tentacles everywhere.
Oh, don't let Slanesh hear you.
But like the fact that they make them menacing is really good because I think the big problem with 40K is a lot of stuff doesn't really transfer that well into reality as far as like menacing, or it just comes off as like gross or like just stupid. But these guys did a really good job of making it look like something I would want to watch.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Time and time again, we see a whole bunch of like awesome fan animations, like what was it, Inquisitor, right?
Inquisitor, yep.
Yep, and then there was the Hell's Reach, and there's been tons more, Death of Hope.
Yep.
And then GW's like, hold my beer. And this just blew me out of the water. The Tempesta Scions look pretty cool.
That was a big surprise too.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Because when I saw that, I was like, Tempesta Scions and an Inquisitor versus Plague Marines, they're gonna get whooped. But then the dude goes, it's like, oh, okay, they got a fighting chance.
And like, this is literally like just humans going up against Chaos. Like, there's no Space Marines besides the Chaos Space Marines, the Plague Marines.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
And this question has got me thinking too. Like, there have been a lot of movies in the past that are very similar to Warhammer 40K, and that could easily be dubbed, 40K inspired movies. Like we talked last week, Event Horizon. One of you guys, or a lot of you guys, recommended us to watch that, and Event Horizon is very 40K inspired. There's also the Slither movie.
Oh yeah.
That's basically Nurgle.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Thing, right? I think the long one.
Long one. Hey, don't let Slanesh hear you. But like basically they're like little slugs that like corrupt you and stuff.
Yeah, if that isn't like Nurgle attacking an Imperial world, then
what is?
What is? But yeah, there's so many different ways that GW can create a 40K movie. I think really it just comes down to like they just need to make a deal.
Right. Because I mean, the closest thing to something like that would probably be like the World of Warcraft movie.
Yeah, and even that, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not disappointed by the animation at all.
Yeah. Like, I don't really know too much about World of Warcraft, and I felt like they made it so like the hardcore fans can enjoy it, but people just stepping in and watching it for the first time, not knowing anything, they could also enjoy it. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So why hasn't GW done it? I don't know.
Maybe
Probably
this
will.
was like dipping their toe in, trying to test the waters.
Yeah.
But if they could do this kind of stuff, then I'm all for it. And just really quick, did you watch that Space Marine movie that came out like 10, 15 years ago?
The really bad one?
Yeah.
No. Did you?
Yeah, I watched it. And it was cool back then because it was like, oh, this is a movie, there's Space Marines, they're fighting like corn Marines and stuff, but there's a lot of things that don't make sense in it.
Maybe that has to do with it, or maybe that's why GW hasn't created a movie so far, because the ones that they have done in the past have been flops. Kind of like Marvel, when Marvel was trying to create all those movies, like the Hulk and
The Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Four, the Thor one, that they didn't really do so well. And it wasn't until Iron Man that the whole genre of superhero movies was like something watchable. And I think with today's technology, they definitely can. So GW, get on it, I guess. They don't watch us.
Next up.
Yeah.
That was a long first question.
It was a good one, though.
You got one?
I have one from Timothy Armstrong. What happened if Tyranids found an old one tomb and eat the corpse? Nothing. The old ones weren't like superhuman, or they weren't like super beings or whatever. They were psychics. They were a little more psychically powerful than the Eldar, but their psychic powers really weren't hindered by the warp like most psychic species are now, because the warp was not as chaotic back in the day. So when you think of the old ones, just think of lizardmen. Don't think of like
gods.
Yeah, gods. Like in the Alien franchise, or is it the Alien franchise?
Yeah.
With Prometheus and the white guys, the giant white guys.
What are they called?
Engineers.
There you go.
Yeah, they're not like engineers. They're just like lizardmen, or they might just be a federation of Xenos that existed in the past. Next question.
Marcel Goussard. Why doesn't? Oh, that's the movie one.
Yeah. I went from Latsvis Bass 6666. Do you think the movie Event Horizon could be set in the 40K universe and the ship went into the warp and became corrupted by chaos? Yeah, definitely.
That basically, if you see the movie, that's pretty much what happens. Uriel 30. Hey fam, what's up? When Lionel Johnson wakes up and sees that his Dark Angels are all broken up, how do you think he will, or how hard do you think he will punch Gilliman? He won't.
Yeah.
He'll probably be like, oh, Robot Gorilla Man, look what's going on, help us.
Robot Gorilla Man. Yeah. I don't think any of the Primarchs would be that disappointed about the Codex Astartes, because they were around when the Codex Astartes was being debated.
Yeah, even if they didn't agree with it, they were like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the Imperial Guard, no, the Imperial Fists, they were completely against it.
Yeah.
Right? Or
the Imperial Fists?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Rogodorn, the White Scars guys, Khan, Lehman Russ. They were really not for splitting up their armies or whatever. But then at the end, they were like, all right, cool. We get it.
Well, they just said that, but they didn't really follow it 100%.
Right. Because the Black Templars were like,
screw you, we got bikes!
Bikes!
Is what Jagtai said.
Next question comes from John Vargas Feliz. Do cloning technology exist in 40K or time travel? Cloning technology does exist. And so does time travel. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about the cloning?
Yeah, so basically, they don't do, well, because every time I think about cloning, I think of Star Wars. Oh, I guess sheep. I think it's Star Wars, because that's basically what the Stormtroopers were.
Oh, yeah.
A whole bunch of clones. But in 40K, they actually use manpower. They recruit from worlds, and they don't use cloning for that matter. But there's the main instance when I think of cloning is when they cloned Horus.
Yeah.
But again, when you clone somebody, they're not as powerful, there's flaws in their genetics, so they're a weaker version of who they're actually cloning.
And a lot of people do, because you connected the Stormtrooper thing, a lot of people do believe that like the Death Corps Krieg, they do a form of cloning where they just birth sack babies, and they're,
Because you have like boys joining the Death Corps.
Boys with toys.
Mm-hmm.
And then time travel, yes, time travel does exist. There's actually a small ordo for an inquisitorial ordo specifically for time travel. We created a 40 facts video on that. I forget what the ordo is called. Comment down below if you remember what the ordo for time travel is within the Inquisition. But like I said, we have a 40 facts video on it, so type in 40 facts, time travel, 40K, and you'll find it.
And no, it's not Time Splitters. Have you played Time Splitters with us?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Oh. Why didn't you guys invite me?
Because you always got headaches.
Oh, yeah. Next question.
This one's by Black Twitch. If you had to kill off one of the Chaos Gods for good, who would it be?
Nurgle, because I don't like small holes. I say Slaanesh.
I was, but the more I think about it, the cooler Slaanesh gets.
Oh.
Don't tell Slaanesh.
But what about the ass?
I'd have to go with probably Slaanesh.
Even though like removing a Chaos God when there's only 4 is dumb. If anything, they should add Chaos Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from Diego Tosini Palma. Are there any Imperial equivalents to current fighting jets in terms of airspeed? Any Tyranids able to reach supersonic speeds in the atmosphere? Yes and yes. A lot of the Necron scythes don't even get pushed back by the laws of physics. So like friction and all that kind of stuff means nothing to the Necron technology. They just go from one place to another in the blink of an eye. He just did it.
Oh.
So yes.
Matthew Ernst. Would Marty Mcfly ever travel to the 31st millennium?
What does he say? Zoinks, Doc? Or no? Is that a different thing?
I don't think he says that.
If Marty Mcfly traveled to the 41st millennium, he would die instantly. Instantly.
He like internally combust.
Yeah, basically he would land, or the DeLorean would land outside of a hive city, and the toxic fumes would eat at his body instantly.
Now Morty, that'd be even more interesting. That was Rick and Morty in the 41st century.
Yeah, that would be cool because they have that gun.
Mm-hmm.
Last question.
This one is by the Noob Gamer. Damn! Tyranid invasions are scary. But why does it feel like the Dark Eldars are way worse than that?
Because they skin you alive.
Yeah. I mean, Tyranids are just going to eat you.
Yeah.
Alive. But...
well, not always.
Yeah, sometimes they kill you and the juice.
Mm-hmm.
Or you become a gene stealer.
That's true. But yeah, the Dark Eldar live on your suffering and pain. So they will keep you alive as long as possible. Mm-hmm. They will like skin you. They will hang you from the roof with those wires. All that grotesque stuff. By the way, Event Horizon, the scene with the orgy, or the blood orgy, I really don't want 40K movies to go that route. Because they very well could. Especially when you talk about Slaanesh, Nurgle, Khorne, anything chaotic. Like, blood and gore in a movie should not be a 40K theme. It should be...
but it's grim,
action.
dark gore.
Grim, dark action. Think of Blade Runner. Don't think of Saw and other stuff. That's gross.
But we gotta have the Demon Kulaba.
No. I couldn't even say that while I was reading it. I was vomiting.
Don't let Nurgle hear you.
But those are the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below.
As always, remember to put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And if there's another question that you liked, hit that thumbs up button because it will push it up to the top of the comments.
And it's more likely that we'll answer it.
Unless we start from the newest first, and then it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, then
as always, support us on Patreon if you guys are into that. It's only $1 a month. If not, subscribe, hit that little bell notification. And that's all we got.
Thanks for everything, guys.
This is Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist.
Switching it up, and we're out of here.
Oh, if you could put my